And now, a thought from man. Today's subject, the new Powerpuff Girls. You know, after all this time of wanting a Powerpuff Girls reboot, wanting a new series and all that, finally getting word of it, and seeing all the negativity surrounding by this new series, I have to say, this new series is good. But definitely not great. There really isn't too much bad about this. There's definitely some bad, but not too much for it to warrant a lot of hate. It's definitely not like the original show, but it's kinda okay for what it gets done, you know? In terms of designs, they're pretty much they're fine. The designs are fine. In terms of characters, there's nothing truly that wrong with them. I mean, the girls seem like the same, basically. You know, Buttercup is the tomboy, Bubbles is the sweet one, Blossom's the smart one. It's not much really wrong with it. In terms of animation, it's kind of subpar to the original 4 seasons of the original Powerpuff Girls before they changed the format. You know, it's not very fast-paced, and it's not very violent, you know? Powerpuff Girls was just known for being overtly violent. But sadly, in this new day and age, it's kind of become more of a rarity to see that type of violence on cartoons nowadays. It sucks, but what can you do? That's just kind of how it is nowadays.
Ugh, I hate this place.
The main problem is mostly the voices. That big controversy of the fact that you got new voice actresses for the girls just makes no sense. It's just like, why? What was wrong with the original cast? What was wrong with Kathleen Cavadini, Elizabeth Daily, and Tara Strong? They were basically the definitive Powerpuff Girls. So really, there was no point in changing them. They were perfect as the Powerpuff Girls, so getting a new cast just makes no sense. I could sort of play devil's advocate and say, with the new voices, they kind of grow on you as you watch, but ultimately, you're still remembering there's no point to them. There's just no point. Maybe if you were going in like a totally different direction with the show, like, I don't know, you age the girls up or something like that, but here it's just like you're kind of just doing, you know, normal one-off adventures like the original show. So unless you're gonna try to add a story to it and add some major depth to it, there's no real reason for all these big changes. I could definitely say the humor is kind of hit or miss. Some episodes have, you know, nice humor, nice jokes that I'm laughing at. Others can just be like, I mean, it won't get much of a laugh out of me, but it won't really get me angry. So, that's something nice for it, you know? The humor's just, sometimes you got me, other times I'm just feeling like, maybe could have done a little better there, but no show's perfect with their jokes, so,
You don't look so tough to me. So why don't you just bring it on, Mr.
Hey, Mr. Bo! La quiero huele a queso feo! What does that mean?
I think it means, he forgot his keys.
One big problem I have is that literally one of the episodes is basically a carbon copy of an episode from the original series. That being the episode with Man-Boy. It's basically just the guru. The episode Make Zen to Me is, you know, the solution is Buttercup needs to channel her anger, she needs to control herself and all that, and she goes to some type of guru that teaches her how to control herself and not get angry at things. And it's basically the same plot, the same basic plot. She goes to the guru, learns how to control her anger and not get mad and destroy things and all that. But that backfires on her because she still needs to kick the villain's butt. And the guru basically says, I'm not saying you don't have to kick the villain's butt. It's just control yourself when you do it. That's the same lesson from the original series. It's like, really? You just copied the original series. I just don't get that. I really don't.
I tried being angry, fail. I tried being nice, double fail.
Hit me.
That's not my thing anymore.
Fire.
What are you?
Fire.
Hey!
Fire.
All right, you asked for it, Captain Wiggles.
Water. And fire. Water. And fire. You see, fire and water, you must be both.
Suck a monkey punch!
What should I do, Master?
The water rushing down the mountainside washes away impurities and replenishes the land. You must be like water, Grasshopper.
What?
Kick his butt! Oh no!
Another thing that kind of bothers me is other characters they did get different voices for. Like Princess is not voiced by the same voice actor she was voiced by. That kind of threw me for a loop when I first heard her. I was like, what the hell?
Yes! And soon I'll be the only Powerpuff Girl.
I just thought you couldn't get the original voice actress back for her. Like Jennifer Hale wasn't available. It was just weird. But the one that really irked me was Robin. They acknowledged, yes, she's part of this. She is part of this new series. But, when I heard her talk, I was like, why? Why?
Raisins, they're nature's candy.
For what fucking reason did she need to sound like that? It's not the fact that she's replaced. It's the fact that you use such a dumb voice. Like, she sounds retarded. She sounds like she's retarded. Like, the second I hear her, I'm like, what the fuck did they do to her? I mean, yeah, she wasn't in the original series for much. She was, like, there for one episode, but that kind of irked me. I'm like, why did you need to get a different voice actress? The voice actress she had was fine. Or mainly just, why did you need this voice for her? Like, at this point, I'm like, don't put her back in this series. Like, keep her out. If you're gonna have her sound like that, just don't bother. One episode kinda annoys me because it's a bit inconsistent. Like, it's an episode that's kinda supposed to be a parody of Hangover, where Blossoms, Bubbles, and Buttercup have a sleepover. They get some friends come in, and their way of getting a hangover is eating lots and lots of candy. And as you know, with the girls, they are kind of crazy for candy. In the original series, that is. But with the new series, it's just they black out, oddly enough. I'm like, nice little update, I guess. You know, before it was they were so obsessed they would do anything for it because they were addicted to it. Here, they're addicted to it, and it shows negative repercussions of being addicted to it. So, it's a nice little update. But anyway, here, they have this one point where, you know, they wake up from the hangover, Blossoms and Buttercup do, and they find the room is a wreck. They don't know what happened, and the girls they had over are missing, and Bubbles is also missing. Now, the girls go on a search to find Bubbles, and completely negate the other girl.
Maybe Bubbles knows. Where is Bubbles?
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 Bubbles? Hey, dude.
Bubbles?
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 I can't find her anywhere.
We lost Bubbles!
Like, they didn't even bother to say, hey, what happened to the other girls we invited over? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how did you forget that? You invited these girls over, and now they're missing. You didn't say, oh, they just went home. No, it's like, they're clearly missing, because you guys clearly went to sleep, you had this party, you went to sleep, and then all the other girls are gone, and you're only focusing on Bubbles. What about the other girls? Their parents are gonna be fucking pissed. But that's really just one minor nitpick of that one episode that I have. It does have some nice jokes to it, so that's just one minor nitpick in terms of the story for that episode.
Oh, come on!
So, all in all, this is a good show, but it's definitely not as good as the original. I cannot say it's better than the original in any way, shape, or form, but it's good. Nothing horrible about it that just makes you say, "Oh, they killed my childhood!" Ugh. They didn't do that with this series. It's fine for what it is. It's kind of unnecessary because it's like you're not really moving in that much of a big direction with this new show. So it's kind of one of those, did you need it? And ultimately it's like, no, we didn't really need this. If it's just gonna be kind of the same basic stuff of the girls go out, do this and that, and minor changes, because there are some minor changes that are like, you didn't need that. Like, the girls are ultimately in some type of elementary school. They're not in Pokeokes anymore, which is kind of weird. It's like, really? I don't get that. It was kind of obvious the girls are like 5 years old, but now you got them actually sitting at desks, and it's like, I don't know, I guess first grade they upgraded, but it's nothing truly horrible. When you see shows like Pickle and Peanut, you realize, oh, it could be much worse. It could be much, much, much worse.
Woo! Come on, get it! Make it bounce!
But it's a good series. Not better than the original. Just fine for what it gets done. Just still kinda, you didn't need to make it, but for what we got, it's good. But that's just a thought.